So, he has some connection with India as well that we have discussed in the last class. And we have also discussed the first stanza of the second coming. In the second coming, in the first stanza, he's talking about the disappearance of traditional value system. How traditional kind of an authority is, receding, and a modern way of doing things means he's actually talking about the World War I is coming, and it has completely destroyed all systems and societal organizations, right? So he's expressing some of the examples like, falcon cannot hear falconer, that, the bird used to catch the prey, right? Then, and the falconer is somebody who trains a bird, and they don't have a connection, they don't have a, relationship now. That has been collapsed, and now things fall apart. And also we said that Things Fall Apart is a novel by Chinua Achebe, right, an African novelist. So the sender cannot hold, there is no control, there is no system. Okay, so everything is in chaos, and only mere anarchy exists, and blood-dimmed tide is loosed, means the whole cycle of violence is coming, the massacres, killing, and bloodshed, that's happening. And the good or best thing, it doesn't have any demand in the society, and the worst thing is taking the control. It is in full passion, it's in full passionate vigor. Okay, now in the second stanza, he is talking, W.B. Yeats is talking about the second coming. The title of the poem itself is Second Coming. It's a name taken from biblical context, where according to Bible, there is, Jesus will come again. Jesus Christ will come again to liberate the society and the people. Okay. So earlier he was crucified and he was sent to heaven, and now he will come back again to liberate people, right? That is the biblical, belief. And also there is an apocalypse. Apocalypse means, something dangerous is going to happen and the world is going to end. Okay, that is what is this. For example, in our Indian tradition, you might have heard this Kali Yuga, means everything is going to collapse. That kind of a denotation is also there with the second coming, because Jesus Christ coming is at the time when everything is getting collapsed. Total chaos is ruling the world, and he will come and he will maintain a system, he will liberate people. Okay, that's the idea. So here Yeats is talking about the distractions that World War I has created. Okay, it is just like an apocalypse, it's just like an end of the world. Surely some revelations is at hand. So in the earlier stanza we said that there is full of chaos, no order, no system, traditional value disappeared, no ceremonies, no rituals, nothing. So but surely there is a kind of flickering hope, right? Surely some revelations is at hand. Revelation means something that comes from the the God Almighty, some knowledge, some revelation is at hand. Now we have at hand means we have some revelation. Surely the second coming is hand. Yeah, no doubt, verily, the second coming of Jesus. Jesus, when earlier he came to earth and he tried to preach the ideas and the belief in God, and he tried to maintain justice, and now he disappeared, he crucified, not disappeared. He has been crucified and sent back to heaven. Now he will come again when there is, utter failure of, religious values, systems and all. He will come back again to maintain the system. So we have hope that Jesus Christ will come back and, he will maintain some kind of system and order in the society. The second coming, hardly are those words out, it is just like, John Keats' famous poem Ode to a Nightingale. He says, forlorn. The very words sound like a, a ring, a bell, okay, an alarm. So there also the word is, creating a kind of an, some kind of an aura, or some kind of an, alarm, some kind of an awareness in you. Just like that, once he pronounced the word second coming, hardly those words are out when a vast image of spiritus mundi. Okay, so a image of spiritus mundi. So here it is referring to the, this very wild kind of an animal who is going to attack the world. So spiritus mundi in Latin term, its meaning is, world spirit, including, desert phoenixes and shadowy birds. But here the actual meaning, there is something that is going to happen to, that destroy the world. Okay, there is, means this apocalypse. Okay, apocalypse means the world is going to an end. Yeah, hardly are those words out when a vast image out of spiritus mundi, a vast image, a large shape out of spiritus mundi. That spiritus mundi is referring to this animal, or sometimes it is, collective consciousness, something that troubles my sight. That image of that, that dreadful beast is, creating some trouble in my sight. In the very seeing of that, large shape will create some kind of fear in you. Trouble my sight. Somewhere in the sands of desert, yeah, that animal, that spiritus mundi, that a large, vast, dreadful animal, that, that is, in the sands, means in the desert. The sands of the desert means that also refer to the roughness of the world. With the world war, okay, with that cycle of violence, our entire system, philosophy, religion, values are coming into an end. Then we have a desert. We have a desert. Desert is a symbol of, where there is no hope, no organic, means greeneries, okay, no greenery, no water, everything is dead and dried. Okay, so here we are, in the T.S. Eliot's wasteland is also representing, we are in rat saliva, dead body lost their bonds. Okay, means he is also talking about this kind of, spiritual desert, a desert created out, by human beings. This lack of value system, right? Yeah. So the troubles my sight somewhere in the sand of the desert. A shape. What is the shape of that animal? What is the shape of that dreadful creature? It's, with a lion's body and the head of a man. Its head is that of a man and its body is that of a lion. A gaze blank and pitiless as the sun. That animal is gazing. Gazing means, simply staring at something, looking with a kind of, fear, means a look that infested with fear. Okay, without any, any sympathy or any kind of mercy. Means, once you will, if somebody look at you, stare at you, they are trying to frighten you, or their look will create some kind of bad feeling in you, right? Yeah. The vast image out of spiritus mundi troubles my sight somewhere in the sand of the desert. A shape with lion body and the head of a man. A gaze blank and pitiless. That gaze is blank. It has nothing in that, gaze, in that look. It is pitiless. No empathy, no sympathy, right? There is no mercy in that look, Once the eye is, sometimes a look can create a lot of change. For example, if you look at the people and they're suffering, and if you can, sometimes, your mere, sending your eyes, giving a look of your consideration would heal a lot of things. But in the look of this animal, the spiritus mundi, there is no mercy, there is no, sympathy. It is pitiless. Okay, pitiless as the sun. It is just like a sun full of, anger, right? It will burn whatever thing that comes in front of it. So just like that sun, this animal is staring at the world. Okay, so that is a simile, right? It's moving its slow thighs while all about it reels shadow of the indignant desert birds. Okay, so is moving its slow thighs means its slow legs. Thighs means the upper part of the leg, right? So thighs. It's moving its thighs. It is walking while all about it. What is whatever connected with that animal, that is what while all about is real shadow. Throwing shadows. Shadow is a representation of a lack of hope, or darkness or cruelty. Shadow of dark night. Shadow is a symbol of, it is nowhere considered as a symbol of a good thing. Always shadow is considered as some kind of cruelty, some kind of lack of knowledge, lack of light. Okay, so where it is, that the shadows of indignant desert birds. Okay, so this indignant means very cruel. Desert birds, that the appearance of that spiritus mundi, that's that dreadful animal, that is throwing the shadow of these frightful desert birds. Okay, birds are always symbol of beauty or something like that, but here it is dreadful desert birds. They're gonna kill you. Okay, that kind of a very dangerous species. The darkness drops again, but now I know 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by rocking cradle, and what rough beast is our come around at last, sloshes towards Bethlehem to be born. That darkness is dropping again, that darkness is coming again, but at this moment I'm sure that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to a nightmare by rocking cradles. But now I am sure that these 20 centuries of stony sleep, the 20 centuries of stony sleep means, after 20 century means that is the time period of Jesus Christ. After Jesus Christ, Yeats is writing this poem in 1920s. Okay, in the early 1920s, maybe after 2000 years. So he's considering that from the birth of Jesus happened in the AD, right? So after Jesus, it's there are 20 centuries. Okay, so this 20 centuries of sleep, we were in the 20 centuries of sleep, or this spiritus mundi was in the 20 centuries of sleep. Then after that, it vexed to nightmare. It created, it is going to create some kind of a nightmare. Nightmare is a dreadful dream. Okay, right. Were vexed tonight to a nightmare, a very disturbing night, very denoting the distressed and problematic situation. By a rocking cradle means these 20 centuries, this animal or the world has been sleeping in a rocking cradle, right, where baby sleeps and all, and now it has been vexed by this vexed to a nightmare. Now we have a lot of troublesome is happening. There is a symbolic level, there is in a religious symbol is working on the one side, on the other side he is talking about the world which is created, a lot of troubles are happening, like violence and bloodshed, world war. Okay, so and what rough beast, and what kind of a rough beast is this spiritus mundi? It's our come around at last. It is time
after these 20 centuries of sleep, it's a time for this spiritus mundi, this dreadful animal with the shape of a with the body of a lion and a head of a man, that slouches, that walks, that moves towards Bethlehem to be born, towards Bethlehem. Bethlehem is the place in modern Palestine. It's a place where Jesus Christ is born. Okay, so that this animal is moving to the land of Bethlehem, where Jesus Christ born. So actually in this poem, this 8th poem is full of symbols, like here you can find lot of symbols, right? Falcon, and then this spiritus mundi, and this widening chair. A lot of symbols you will find. They are talking about he's one of the the very much his most of his poems are with a lot of symbols, like in some other poets you will find staircase, wind, tree. These are some of the frequent symbols used by Yeats in his poetry. So we will wind up here, and if you have any doubts you could ask me, okay, in our WhatsApp group. So we will discuss it over there. Okay, bye.